Starting Siman Lamed Beis. Siman Lamed Beis is a very, very long Siman, and it's how to write tefillin. So it's the actual ksiva. I'll see how detailed we'll go. I'll do my best to not be too detailed, but okay. The Mechaber begins off by mitzvahs tefillin sheichtav arba parshias. The mitzvah of tefillin is writing 4 parshias, which is Kaddish li kol b'chor, then V'hayav kiviyacha, then Shema and V'hayim Shemaya. So it's Kaddish, V'haya, Shema, and V'haya. That's the order of tefillin. Now, and as we'll see in a moment, in the Shel Rosh they're written on 4 separate parshias, separate klaf, and in the Shel Yad it's 1 klaf. Says the Ramah, Tzarech lichasam keseder hazeh. You have to write them in order, which means, so for the Shel Yad it would be impressive to write them out of order, because that would be annoying. I don't know why you would do that. You'd have to write in the middle. But for the Shel Rosh, you have to write them in the proper order, which means if you write them out of order, no good. Which also means if one of them becomes puzzle, you can't just fix that, you can't just rewrite that parsha, you'll have to rewrite that parsha and the remaining ones. So by a Shel Rosh, if let's say the first parsha gets the first one, which is Kaddish Li, that becomes a problem, you have to just replace the whole tefillin, because you'd have to fix that one. Meaning, I don't mean fix like a letter. I mean, let's say you had to rewrite it. There was something really wrong. So you have to rewrite the first. Then by definition, you have to then rewrite 2, 3, and 4. As we'll see also in a moment, even if you piece them together, let's say I have, you have a Seif who's got like a whole, stack of, he has to know when he wrote which ones that he wrote. Because if he's taking, he has a box of the first A, B, C, and D. If he's taking B, because he just, let's say, filled a box of Kaddish and then V'haya and then Shema and then V'haya. If he's taking B and then he's taking C, he has to make sure that he wrote B before he wrote C. So you have to keep track of this. So the Mechaber, the Ramah says, Vimshina pasal chachila. Vimshina pasal. I'm sorry, if you wrote them out of order, it's pasal. L'chachila yichtav shel yad kodim shel rosh. An additional chumrah is that you should write the shel yad before you write the shel rosh. Okay. Zak the Mishnah Berurah. What are the 4 parshias? Now, one of the halachas is Sarach lichdav dalid de echad kol kach gedoyla k'may dalid dalsin ketanim. The echad, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem echad, that dalid should be long, so long that it's 4 times a smaller dalid. That length, that dalid should be so big that you could write small dalids, 4 small dalids in that length of the bigger dalid. Mishnah Berurah points out it doesn't have to be 4 times the size of the dalid that Seif writes, because that Seif might have big dalids, but it has to be 4 times larger than any small dalid can fit. And that dalid is much larger. Okay, now b'seder hazeh tzarich why does it have to be in this proper order? It has to be written in the order of the Torah, which, by the way, people don't realize this. Because it has to be written in order, which is Kaddish, V'haya, Shema, and V'haya. Those 4 in that order. Now think of the Shel Yad. 1 long klaf, and you're just writing in order. Perfect. Easy. You ever notice, I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but Rabbeinu Tam tefillin are more expensive than Rashi tefillin. You want to know why? Because Rabbeinu Tam tefillin, it's Kaddish, V'haya, V'haya, Shema. It's written, but it has to be written in the order of the Torah, which means the Sefer has to write Kaddish, he has to write V'haya, he has to leave a space, then write the other one, then go back, and he has to, because even if the parshias are different order, it has to be written in the way they're written in the Torah. So Rabbeinu Tam tefillin are more expensive because of that, because the Shel Yad, the order might be different, but it's written in the way it's written in the Torah, and it's more complicated for the Sefer, for sure. So Rabbeinu Tam tefillin are much more expensive. Now the Mishnah Berurah says pasal, and if you write it out of order, it's pasal. Hainu atfillin shenasa moisen aparshias. Meaning you can't use those parshias. So what do you do, by the way, if you wrote out of order? So what the Sefer could do is he could take this one and then use it as a separate one for another tefillin. Again, he just has to keep track. That's the point. It has to be written in the order of the Torah, and if it's written out of order, it's a problem. Now the Mechaber then says in Beis, and one with this, Sharosh yichtav kol achas beklaf levada v'shel yad kosvan kulam beklaf echad. And so he said before that the Shel Rosh, it's 4 separate parchments, and the Shel Yad, it's 1 long parchment. The Mishnah Berurah says, K'dichsiv v'haya la'os al yadecha. Os is 1, but 1 box. But the Shel Rosh it says totafos beinenecha, which is multiple, and therefore the shalrosh is multiple boxes, multiple klaf, and the shalyat is one box, one klaf. Okay, we'll stop here.